Listen to the people. Listen to humanity. Listen to the parrot. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot. Listen to the people. Listen to humanity. Listen to the parrot. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Parrot TV. Listen to the people. Listen to humanity. Listen to the parrot. Parrot TV.
In a world where the quality of information available to poorer communities is doctored, tainted and sometimes regressive, where the words fake news have come to mean other people's opinions, it is vital to rely on news platforms with journalists who have feet on the ground and can report the truth. New York Parrot, a New York-based national and global news outlet, is changing the narratives of media operations. We focus on the news that matters, like self-empowerment, entrepreneurship, finances, health, security, politics, and more. We strive to curb violence, racial and economic discrimination, and to promote peace and socio-economic development of multiculturally diverse world. As we give voice to the people, we also give your business a voice and make it heard. Get your products and services off the ground by advertising on our fast-growing platform. With so much of daily visits to New York Parrot, you can't afford to be invisible to prospective clients on the website they trust the most. Our posts reach millions of people across the New York State and around the world. Advertising on our new site will unlock an audience of thousands of potential customers on your doorstep. New York Parrot is born to prosperously speak tomorrow for the voiceless.
Hello, welcome to World Inkers Network. I'm Dustin Pickering, your noble and honest host. And we have Brenda Frew with us today. Hope I pronounced your name correctly. And I'm going to read her bio. It's a little long, but it'll be great. It's exciting and interesting.
I am a writer. Sorry.
Oh, quite all right. I get interrupted a lot. It's all right.
Sorry.
Have you ever hung upside down only to notice the world from a different perspective? Have you ever got lost in something that made you feel so good that your toes fell asleep and you didn't care because you were enjoying yourself? Have you ever stopped what you were doing to watch a bird fly by, wondering what it would be like to fly? Or maybe you are the one that you knew you shouldn't do that, but you did it anyway, just to feel accepted. Then to realize that your mistakes were good life lessons. Or what about that time when you didn't think you could do something and then you did and did it so well that you and other people were in shock? Brenda Frew thinks outside the box. She is a big dreamer. She dared to dream to become an author, and here she is. She challenges herself to be the best version of herself. Getting older, she started noticing the natural changes of her body and lifestyle. She knew she had to do something to make sure she wasn't going to die sick and tired, decrepit, and alone. She found herself up in the mountains meditating, dreaming, and experiencing life in new ways. Finding her sexy self again and playing in her inner child energies, Brenda learned what unconditional love feels like. And she knows that she is not alone and looks forward to expanding her knowledge out into the world. Brenda's fitness career led her into an understanding that there is more to the human body than she was trained to believe, and becoming a Reiki practitioner in 2013 propelled her into studying quantum energy and the divine energy of the human body. She spells that H-U-E. That's quite interesting. We'll have to talk about that. 2013 propelled her into studying. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that already. Brenda's coaching skills will have you understanding and appreciating the new you in this new year, 2023. And she looks forward to seeing where the energy of this project leads her. She is excited to share her story along with 13 other people's stories and hopes that their stories will help people understand that their thoughts create their reality and that they are capable of achieving anything and everything their minds can dream of. Brenda is here to share her light. She's here today to talk about her book, Dare to Dream, Women and Men Refusing to Let Their Dreams Die. And stay tuned for more details on the book launch coming on February 21st, 2023. Her intention is to publish at least 2 more books by the end of the year, and she is calling in speaking gigs. If you are interested in working with Brenda, you can contact her at bodybizwithbrenda@gmail.com, or you can go to her website, www.intothevortexmovement.wordpress.com. So, thank you for being on the show today, Brenda. I'm going to pull you into the studio and let you introduce yourself a little bit. And tell us about this book, Dare to Dream. What prompted this book? What brought you onto the circuit of being an author?
Well, I hike every day, and a couple of years ago, I got a download, if you will, an idea to write a book, and I got the title of the book, and I'm not going to give that out today, but I didn't have the confidence, the security that I was smart enough to write a book. So for the last 5 years, I've been trying to figure out, why was I selected to write a book? I'm a journaler since way young. So I've used writing as part of my, emotional tools, to release some of my stress. And I didn't realize I was doing that. I was just trying to, occupy my alone time, really. And I have a friend that I met a couple years ago, ironically, in a library. I was writing my book, and she was writing her book. And we just interacted like this, and it's like we've been partners ever since. She wrote an article in this book also, or a chapter in this book. Lourdes Akawili, she's my writing buddy. Having her in my life for the last 3 years has really kept my motivation up. We didn't even know about this project. I've been following Brian Benson on Facebook, and he was like, multi-author, and I jumped on it. I didn't even ask her or anything. I just, said, I'm in. And then when I told her about it, the rest is history. I mean, we've been like this in this project, and she's a published author from years ago, and she's got lots to write also, just like me. I've got a couple of books in the works right now.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So tell us a little bit about the genesis of this book. What kind of material is in the book? What does it say to people who would read it?
The idea is just people sharing their passions, their intimate stories of how life was bringing them down, and they refused to let those obstacles stop them from what they were imagining and dreaming in their life. And I haven't gotten the book yet. I'm super excited. It's coming today. So I haven't read anybody else's stories, but my story is, I beat all odds. I was one of these people that I didn't want to be a failure. So every time something came up, I was just non-emotionally affected by it. It's like, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that that was a keen tool to, help me. But my mission is to just tell people or help people or guide people by showing my vulnerabilities and my downfalls, to show that anything's possible if you have a belief and trust in yourself. And it's hard to get that if you don't know what that feels like, if you don't have other examples of that, or you don't feel like you're good enough to do your dream, or, writing really helped me see for myself, and speaking it also. I write and then I speak it, so I can hear myself talk. I can hear myself think. So I understand how you receive me, so writing in a book, and I recommend everybody write your story. And 14 of us got together, and these stories will have you in amazement. You'll be like, I can't believe she did that. I can't believe he did that. Wow. It's all about people that just didn't want to give up and dare to dream. Women and men refused to let their dreams die. My current dream is this book, but what got me here is I was in my prime, in my limelight lifestyle, and I made it to the top, and there was still something missing in my life. I wasn't happy. My marriage, my kids, my work. I owned 2 businesses, and I lost everything. I gave up everything, and I went north. I started wondering what being alone is going to be like. And that's where the writings came out. Up in the mountains, I'm a channel for unknown information or unseen information. And I didn't realize what a channel was until I started understanding this information coming through me that was physically happening to my body. So when I started writing it, I was like, wow, a lot of people can really benefit from this easy way of healing yourself. And I have so much passion for the human body. I've been in the body business since '89. And I thought I was a pro at the body. I became a pro at the mind when I started dreaming. And then I realized I know the body, I know the mind. Now what I work from is the quantum field, the spirit energy. And that's what guided this book into my life, is that sign, that symbol. It just felt right. And here we are. I am so excited. I'm a little nervous because it's very vulnerable. And only a few people know my story. So I'm excited to share. And I'm at a point where I have nothing to hide. Ask me anything.
Well, I'm curious how you found the people who were included in the book, their stories. I mean, did you hear it somewhere on the internet, or did you just know these people personally, and what intrigued you about their specific story?
Okay, so G. Brian Benson is a friend of mine on Facebook, and I've been following him for about 6 years. He has gone through, he's written, I think, 4 or 5 books already, children's books included. And I was just in amazement of his progress, of watching him. He even took off and drove across the United States by himself just to, experience life in a new way, which is what we've all done, I think. Anyway, he met up with a gal, Paula Jessup, and she is Bombshell Bliss Books. And the 2 of them together had an idea to do a multi-author book. And right when that went out on Facebook, it was like, I got to be a part of that somehow. I really can't afford it. I don't know anything about it, but this just feels right because I want what they have. And Paul is a multi-book author as well. And I want to be like that. I want to have that progression of growth in my life. Just because I'm getting older doesn't mean I need to stop anytime soon.
So what are your anticipations for your next book, or do you have plans? Are you just letting it kind of flow through you right now, or?
Well, when I first was guided to write a book, it was such a grand plan. It's a book for humanity is really what the book is called, Book for Humanity. And I didn't have confidence enough to write that. I've been trickling writing that, but I've also got a book about words to help us understand the energy of our words. And I'm writing a book about what my mystical experiences that have happened to me in my meditations. I feel like I've been called by the spirit of life, God, the quantum field energy. And I'm going to write about my intimate out-of-body experiences and visions that I've been having that come true. And I'm just now claiming that I'm a channeler and a medium. And I don't want to say I'm a psychic, but I've had experiences like that, so those are the kind of things that I'm guiding towards after this book, because where we're at in this world, I believe that I was put in experiences in my past to understand how to stay emotionally sound and mentally sound through chaos. And I have a lot to offer people. I'm really Um, my heart goes out to the children and to all humans. And I'm going to just go right on into that spelling of human.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask about that. Go ahead.
Yeah. And this is what's charging me right now. You see that I'm getting a little emotional, and it's the human energy system that gets ignored. I'm getting a little warm here. The unexpressed emotions and beliefs and trusts and things that we don't know about process inside of our body, and it's a light energy of light. And the word human came to me when I was up in the mountains. I actually became a feeling of light. I couldn't feel my body, and I didn't know where I was at or anything in this meditation, and it wasn't scary. It was beautiful. And I'm a member of the family of light, which is people that are connected to the other side, to the veil. I have channels that come in from spirit. I have channels that come in from Thoth and Metatron. And I've even talked to my sister and my brother that have passed. So the hue in the human is the energy of our heart, our emotions. The hue is the spirit of the human body, where our intuition is. And this is our first guidance for being in our life. And when we listen to our intuition, or we listen to our hue in our man, because we're all considered masculine and feminine in the grand scheme of quantum energy and in the grand scheme of spirit energy. We are not observed as individuals. We're observed as an energy of light. How we are in the world, what do we leave behind that's going to help people or hurt people? We're the hue. So I look at it when I go into the world, in my hue man, is what is the energy wave that I leave behind for people to process? Was I a light in their life, or did I bring darkness to them today? And we need both of those energies in our life. And looking at the word HUMAN, it doesn't do it for me now. Now when I see HUEMAN, it makes sense to me that this is why this is happening in our world, is people don't understand their beautiful light, their magnificent light. They don't understand the unconditional love that they always have every second of every day. Love is not what we think it is. And it's an alone time to reflect.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at our communist who just put a note there.
Anyway, so that was good. I have so many cool healing, fun techniques to do, exercise plans and things like that came from these energies of light that have been coming to me. They're not my information. It's coming from spirit information and quantum information to be shared with all of humans that are on this planet. I wanted to think it was mine, but then I was told, you're being selfish. You need to share this information with the world. So here I am. And I want to thank you. Parrot TV, World Inkers Network. Thank you, Dustin.
HUE, and I think when I looked at that, I thought it may have something to do with the colors and the spectrum of colors. Maybe, did you include? Was that something you wanted to throw in there as like a when you talk about light has a spectrum of colors, through the prism and whatnot. So you see, I'm seeing your lights there. Is that? I can't really tell if they're different colors or.
Yeah, let me see if I can back her up just a hair to see if we can get the color in there.
A little bit better.
Okay.
I guess because the way the nature of the beast here is
the technology.
Yeah, it sometimes does some weird stuff.
I'm really happy. This is a great question. Thank you for bringing it up. I'm going to turn this off so I'm not so blocked out. I do use light as a healing tool, and I learned about the chakras I call them energy systems, or I call them the auto body. It's the auto body that runs our body when we're not paying attention, when we're driving and eating and working, and that energy of our life that keeps us alive. And it is the color spectrum of the light. And I have a show that I haven't published yet that I'm working on, which is our synchronicity with Parrot TV. I adopted some birds. I named
them in the background there.
I adopted them when they were an egg, and I named them Quanta and Viola, and it just came into my head. I didn't plan it. And what those two words mean is quanta, as in quantum physics, and Viola, as in the color of the human energy centers, which is our brain, and the lower color of the rainbow. So this I'm very animated with my, so the color of the human energy centers are here, right?
Auras, basically.
A violet color. And then the lower color of the rainbow is violet also. So if we were to stand under a rainbow, the energy hue of the rainbow and our body would match. So the exact colors as you go down. And why we want to know about color in our body is because that's what brings balance in our life. And there's ways to read your colors. And there's also ways to manipulate your colors by light when you're meditating. Because when you're focused on healing, if you work with the energy of light, and like shake and stretch it out so your body has room to move that light through you, with a belief and trust that you deserve the healing happens almost instantaneously. And it's amazing. I've healed skin cancer. I've healed so many different mental illness. I've healed shoulder and hip problems. There's lots of tools and techniques, but the color spectrum, everybody knows about. Everybody has access to. And my thing in my future is not about anything but helping people understand themselves better, and so they can be the best version of themselves. And if they close their eyes and see inside the light spectrum of their body, and if they just look at the colors, like I have my clients look at those colors and lay underneath those colors, the body shifts like this. It's a vortex movement. And when you get in on the vortex movement, quantum entanglement or spirit designed effort, or this is who you really are, comes into play, because you are actually having a relationship with the energy of life through your colors.
Interesting. We're going to take a brief break, but we'll be back, and you can read us a little bit from your book, Dare to Dream.
Awesome.
We'll be right back. We'll love to hear this. I'm looking forward to it.
Do you wish your business makes it to the top list of the most searched for business in the US and around the world? Or are you searching for halal compliant services and products online? Then Halal Finder is your online resource directory, pointing you to the right places and products. Let's help you explore halal products and services of your choice as we manage many halal businesses across the world. Promote your business with halalfinder.com, the only plug you need to grow. Our services include business listing, digital marketing, branding strategy, SEO campaigns, crowdfunding, and humanitarian support. On our Compassion Corner, we offer crowdfunding of halal ventures and humanitarian services. In this section, you can make or receive donations, start donation campaign, and check existing donation campaigns. And by paying zakat and sadaqah to our Compassion platform on halalfinder.com, you have supported the poor, widows or widowers, orphans, and the likes around the world. Contact us at info@halalfinder.com or call +1 718 822 5555. Get started today.
Undoubtedly, Africa is the best tourism destination on Earth. The continent is blessed with the most conducive atmosphere. To feel and enjoy these blessings, join the most productive one-week tour of the continent organized by Daylight Africa every September 2nd to September 9th to see beyond the fallacies about Africa on the mainstream media. Contact us at daylightafrica@gmail.com or call 718-822-5555. Daylight Africa. Revolutionizing tourism industries in Africa.
Hello, welcome to back. Well, that'll work. Welcome back to World Inkers Network. We're talking about Dare to Dream with Brenda Frew, and if we'll go ahead and get on her side here and listen to her. And I had an interesting question I was just thinking about. Maybe you can answer. We talked about light, spectrum of light. What do you think? Like television, what effects do you think that has on a person's psychic energy and quantum energy? Like, because that's like a whole pixelated, like blah blah blah, blah. It's like just crazy pixelated energies that come, different colors that are floating at you. I wondered what you thought of that. Does it have a detrimental, or does it matter what you're looking at, or how do you feel about it?
I've had to. That's part of what made me sick. Actually, is too much energy from different areas. Our brains pick up everything in every situation that we are in. Even though we don't know what's behind us, our brain does. So when we watch TV or we're on our devices a lot, the stimulation in our brain network, how we learn things, how we agree to things, how we believe in things, is affected by all of that stimulation, whether, the commercials, the games, all of that. And not only does it affect our brain stimulation, but it also affects the cell regeneration process, because it overstimulates our body, and we end up in anxiety, or these I can't stand it, overwhelming kind of vibes. And I believe that a lot of it comes from our devices and TV, that color stimulation, because our brain can only really focus on one thing 100% at a time. And that is science. I mean, there's no arguing that fact. So when we have all of these things coming at us from all different directions, it makes us confused, and we're grasping to try to keep ourselves calm. And that's what the vortex movement really is good for, is to have that, bring that calmness to us. And my recommendation is to balance out time, have a little bit of this time, a little bit of away from the technology time, outside, playing with your kids, reading reading this Dare to Dream book, which I am going to start.
Absolutely. Please do. Let's go for it. Let's see what we have from your book.
Yeah. Before I read this, I just want to let you know, I didn't have any confidence that I was smart growing up. I was a victim of bully. So that's a little bit in my book. But I graduated a year early to hurry up and get out of school because of the bullying. And I wanted to move in with my childhood sweetheart. So I didn't have confidence that I was smart. So writing a book is just amazing me. I am still, pinch me. Am I dreaming? Right? Okay. So this is part of my chapter here. Graduation was one step to becoming who I really am. I had no idea who that was, but it had to be better than the kids, what the kids were saying about me in school. I had the middle child syndrome. I wasn't like my sister or my brother. I had to make a name for myself. So that didn't really give much out, but it did for me, because I still am in amazement that I am a published author. And this has helped me understand that we are what we believe we are. And if we believe we're an author, we got to practice being that before we get there. What does an author look like? What do they wear? How do they sit? Do they use paper or pencil? Do they use a typewriter, like a real one, or a computer? And I think that all of the other authors in this book have had the similar situations as me, where the world around us tells us, you're not smart enough to write a book, or you're not strong enough to be a fitness competitor winner, or I can't believe you opened that studio. I had a studio that was very controversial, and I had to defend myself, and that was the lifestyle that I had to step out of. It was called the Exotic Workout Studio, and my I made it to the top, like I said, making lots of money, becoming really popular in my town, and that fitness lifestyle and the limelight overwhelmed me, and I found myself in a confusion. It's like, whoa, this isn't what I want, and that's when everything went to the ground, and I moved away from everything. I got rid of everything, and that's when I started writing, and really writing. And then when I didn't believe that I was smart enough to write, spirit energy comes into me and says, well, it's not you writing, so get to it. When Brian's multi-author request came across, like I said, that is the key to achieving your dreams, is to not talk to anybody about what you're feeling until you take steps. Don't ask anybody what they think about it. Take your steps first. Get on the ball. Roll with the research of your dream, and then start talking about it. Because if you start talking about it at first, people get a little intimidated, they get a little jealous, and then they start throwing out these things like, well, how are you going to do that? You barely graduated, how are you going to do that? You've never owned a business before. Have you gone to school? How are you going to do that? So people kept trying to pull me out of my goals and my dreams. And I just stood up and said, look, I have to create myself. Nobody's going to create me. So if you don't like my pole dancing studio, then don't come. But a lot of people do. And it's a really, really fun and great workout. And that business was it just flourished so quickly. I took 2 classes, and 2 months later, I had a business. That's how natural it was that I did that business. And that's another thing I want to recommend for people, is those things that you do that are so natural that you, one, are amazed that you're that natural at it. 2, that it inspires you to keep going forever, and you don't want to ever stop doing it. And then you dial it in. It's like riding a bike. Your friends are jumping, and you've never ridden a bike before. So secretly you kind of practice. You show up and you're like, oh, watch this, that's how our brain is trained. You have to practice your dream. You have to see yourself in your dream. You have to really believe and trust that you're deserving of that dream. And the way you trust it is spend time in it before you receive it. Like, reading. If you want to write, you better feel confident reading, right? I was a terrible reader. I had to go in the closet to read. Because my mind was like more important. I want to know what, Susie's doing over here, and what, my friends are doing over there. I had a really hard time focusing on reading. So this has been really good for me. Even as my childhood memories, I feel really proud of myself, because I didn't have any trust that I was capable of being an authority in anything, and I don't feel like an authority. I'm just like everybody else. I'm just brave enough to speak my truth.
So what kind of advice would you leave our viewers with today?
First of all, I don't want to have it as advice. I want to come to them, everybody, and say, I love you, because you are just like me. You're a human. You're a light man, a human being that has wonderful things to offer the world. And I'm a member of the family of light. I'm here to help guide you into your magnificent vibration of your emotions, and to remember that you are worth it. You're valuable, and you are deserving of everything, anything, even if you think it's impossible. Right now is the time to create possibility out of the impossible.
Absolutely. Somebody asked, where can we find your book? And I believe we have a book launch on the 21st, coming up in a couple of days here, 3 days exactly.
Yep.
That sounds great. I'm excited for you.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing a live broadcast on Facebook. Brenda Frew, Frew is my last name. And a couple of the authors are going to be there. I'm not sure if everybody's going to be there, but I want you to tune in, because you'll get a match of face with the story. So when you read the book, you'll be like, I know her, or I know him,
Right. Makes it exciting.
That's going to be from 12 to 1, 12:30 to maybe 2, but we're shooting for at least an hour. And that's Pacific time on Facebook.
Okay.
And we have Kindle copies for 99 cents, and we'll have the link ready for everybody on Tuesday, the 21st. And I want to thank you so much for tuning in, all of your guests. And I wanted to give you some props too. Thank you for being brave enough to put yourself out there and to help us help the world, because we are a team of humanity, aren't we, Dustin? We are a team. You and me, you and everybody that we don't even know help each other, and we don't even realize we're helping each other.
Well, it was great to have you on the show today. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to your book launch and seeing some results from that. And thank you to our audience. If you have not subscribed to our channel, I invite you to do so right now. Click the subscribe button on Parrot TV, and you'll be notified every time we go live with the show. And if you want to donate, we have a donation handle, paypal.me/NYParrot. Slash sounds great when you add it in there, because some people have forgotten. It's like Slash, like the Guns N' Roses guitarist. paypal.me/NYParrot, and remember the period as well. That's a tough one. If you want to get in touch with me to be on the show, we also have an email, publication.worldinkers@gmail.com. Again, that dot's important, slash not important. I kicked him out of the band. I'm Axl Rose today. So yeah. But thanks for watching, thanks for viewing, and I hope you guys out there have a pleasant day. Do some writing.
Yes.
I come decorated in the patterns of the old, in the proverbial wisdom of my ancestors. I, a seeker, I, a messenger, and I, the message. We who cracked the mystery of how the river found its way into the bellies of the coconut to the heavens. We were.
Do you know that there is a publishing company that wants to make life easier for you as a writer? This publishing company is called World Inkers Printing and Publishing. We publish in all different languages, and we're looking for writers of all genres, all formats. We're looking for scholars, ghostwriters, playwrights, poets, short fiction, novelists, you name it. We're looking for anybody who is interested in writing and the craft of writing to be in touch